Well, we're back. It's Steven.
And I'm Kelly.
From the Highlight Zone After Hours. We're doing another special edition. We're here. Where are we?
Lava River Cave.
In Flagstaff. We're going to do 2 retellings. We're going to do
The Fugitive.
And Little Girl Lost from Inside a Cave. We're going to try. Here we go. Let's check it out.
You're traveling through another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of Twilight Zone reviews. A journey into a wondrous land of intoxication where a father, son, and guest drink and retell episodes of the Twilight Zone.
There is a 5th dimension.
Stay tuned because your next stop is the Highlight Zone After Hours.
The Twilight Zone.
I think we just go in right here. Oh, this is pretty cool. The temperature drops so much down here.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we're down here in the middle section of this entrance. We came grossly unprepared. We should have brought headlamps and stuff like that. But as you can see, this is pretty freaking cool. This place is about a half an hour from downtown Flagstaff. Not that far at all. I think it says it's 18 miles from the end. And we're in a lava tube. It is deep and steep. And as you can see behind us, it drops off really quickly. But we're here to retell 2 episodes. One of them is kind of like a cave. And the other one is yours. So I don't have any of my notes because there's no internet here, so I will splice those in later with our introductions and everything like that. But let me get my clock out here. All right.
And while you're watching, it's in the 70s on the surface. We're maybe 30 feet down. I don't know if the camera shows it, but you can see your breath down here. It never gets above 40 degrees.
Yeah, it's brisk. It's pretty cool. This is really awesome. It's 74 degrees out there, right? Is that what it was when we came out? And then it's down here, as you can see your breath. It's pretty incredible. All right, so, Dad, what's the episode that you're doing?
The Fugitive.
The Fugitive. All right, you ready?
Sounds good. Let's do it.
The Fugitive. Oh, let's start this again. Okay. The Fugitive, season 5.
Are we that far along? We're almost through with this thing.
All right, get it together, Steve. The Fugitive, season 3, episode 25. This aired on March 9th, 1962, written by one and only Charles Beaumont, and directed by Richard L. Bear, who has done many episodes. We're a big fan of his. So, to do the intro narration, I'll go ahead and do it. Dad, send it over my way. It has been said that science fiction and fantasy are 2 different things. Science fiction, the improbable made possible. Fantasy, the impossible made probable. What would have been, what would you have if you put 2 different things together? Well, you'd have an old man named Ben, who knows a lot of tricks most people don't know, and a little girl named Jenny who loves him, and a journey into the heart of the Twilight Zone. Man, I botched that reading.
No, that was...
Okay. Let's do it. Tell me The Fugitive starting now.
So there's a group of kids playing baseball. These are probably 8 to 10-year-olds. And one of them is a young girl named Jenny. She's got a brace on her leg. They also have an old man, the grandfatherly old neighbor that's with him. So they're playing ball, and the girl starts mocking the older kid who's being the ump because he keeps calling strikes on the kid, and they're not strikes. So she goes up and says, "You're not being fair." So the old guy steps in and he says, let me take a swing. So he takes the bat and he knocks the ball completely over the trees. It disappears.
It just goes.
And the kids just watch. But what's interesting is then the kids say, you always do your magic. So they all know that he's a little bit different. So next scene, she's on his back riding home. He's on roller skates, and they go to their apartment. So they both live in different units of this apartment. And they go up to the apartment, and her aunt comes out, a craggly old witch who used to be, she was Miss Drysdale on the Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh, I did read a bunch of people in this episode.
She said that. So she tells the girl, you go to your room right now. You're not eating dinner. Because she doesn't like the old guy that's hanging out with him. And honestly, if this were filmed 60 years later, they would have never allowed this. Because this is an old man that hangs out with a bunch of young kids. Not the most healthy of situations. So anyway, they go up into her room. And the mom kicks him out. He goes to his room, and some guys come and knock on their door instantly after the old man leaves. And they said, have you heard, do you know Ben? Is he here? She goes, no, he's gone to his room. And but they go in and they talk to Jenny, the little girl. And Jenny says, no, he's not here. He's gone to, what is it? He's gone to feed the pigeons in the park. But they say, well, if you see him, we're looking for him. So she runs upstairs to Ben's room and tells him. So they're in his room, and the mother hears them talking. And so the guys come in, if I'm not mistaken, and they confront him. And right before they see him, he disappears. So it's just the little girl, and they say, where is he? And she goes, he's not here. So the aunt says, go back to your room. She goes back to their apartment, and once the door closes, she pulls a little white mouse out of her shirt. And the mouse instantly turns into Ben. So you know this guy's magic. So they talk. And I'm blowing this thing. So he tells her, I'm really not from this planet. I'm not a fugitive, but I'm from another planet, and some people want to take me back. So anyway, she goes to her room and takes him with them. He's with them. He's the mouse with her. The aunt hears them talking. The old man, the two guys come in, and they go into the room, and he's there. And they confront him, and he says, Jenny, I've got to go. They've come to get me. Don't go, she says. So he says, I'm going to take care of you first. So he takes her in his arms, puts her in the bed, undoes her leg brace, takes out this little wisp device, brushes it over her legs, and she goes to sleep, and he disappears. So later, the aunt comes in with the two guys thinking he's still up there. He's not there. She wakes up. She knows he's gone. She tries to get up, runs away, realizes her leg's better. The men grab her at the door and use the same device, and they knock her out.
Yeah, it's a spinny thing.
So she's laying in bed unconscious. The aunt calls a doctor. He comes in and says, yeah, she's going to die. If her pulse gets any worse, she is going to die. And at that point, the mouse, I guess he's a fly now. He turns into a fly,
and he's
buzzing around
like an actual house fly.
He comes back to her and realizes that she's sick, so he brings out his wand again, and he makes her better. The two guys come in, they confront him, and they say, well, you got to go back. He says, just give me a minute, and she wants to go with him, and they won't let her. So he tells them, give me just a minute with her, and so they leave the room. She tells him, I've got a plan. Since you're magic, turn yourself into me. So they come back in, and there's two Jennies, identical. And because they can't determine which one is the real guy, and he happens to be the king of their planet, so they have to end up taking him and her together because they don't know which one is which. So that's basically it.
Basically okay. So you almost made it to the 5 minute at 4:45.
See, I've got my mind
but there's
set
a lot
on the
of
typical
distractions.
5 minute.
There's a lot of distractions. There's the deep cave. There's people coming through here. So we're gonna forgive you for going over on the timing.
I don't forgive me, but
don't forgive yourself.
I don't.
We'll be drinking anyway. So here we go, real quick with the closing narration.
Mrs. Gann will be in a big surprise when she finds that under Jenny's pillow, Mrs. Gann has more temper than imagination. She'll never dream that this is a picture of old Ben as he really looks. And it will never occur to her that eventually her niece will grow up to be the honest-to-goodness queen somewhere in the Twilight Zone.
All right, so then you said you had some like choice thoughts about this episode. What's your opinion then?
Well, it's a really sweet episode.
It is. It's one of those. It's a cutesy one, and it's kind of campy. But what's your rating?
I gave it an 8.
Okay.
Because it was just fun to watch. There was no harmful players in this other than the aunt. She's just a Grinch. It reminds me of Cinderella. She's the mean old stepmother, and Jenny is the girl that's always treated poorly. And at the end, she goes away, disappears, and they did say, Rod says at the end that she on her planet, on this new planet, became the queen one day. So to me, it was a Cinderella story.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the aunt's just left alone.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. The fact that she's Miss Drysdale, who was an ugly old wench, even in the Beverly Hillbillies show, she is the same in this. But it's worth watching to see that. And the other thought I had was this thing would never be filmed these days because of that relationship, which is a very loving, innocent relationship in the early 60s, would not be even condoned today.
Yeah, absolutely. So I gave it a 7. It's a little on the cutesy, campy side of it at the end. Him as a housefly is kind of funny and a little bit goofy, but I like the sweetness of it. And here's what I really liked is they show you the people that are chasing them, the guys in the suits, and at first you think he is a fugitive, and you're wondering what's going on. Is this FBI? Is this CIA? Is this some sort of Area 51 group trying to track him down?
They're like Men in Black.
They are like Men in Black, and they're trying to track him down. But when you find out at the end that he's just a king that was wanting to take a break from his kingdom, and they were like his followers or whatever he says.
They were his subjects, wanting him back because they needed him. So it was all a positive thing.
It was all positive. And then I did like the twist of him turning himself into the girl so that they had to take both of them because they couldn't leave one and the other one.
That was a good twist.
I thought that was a really good twist, except for earlier in the show, she goes, what do you really look like? And he goes, if I showed you what I really look like, you wouldn't like it or whatever, right? Because he's like an alien crazy thing. I don't think it's the alien that he turns into at the beginning.
When they play Spaceman.
Because they play Monster, yeah. Yes. So I don't know if that's him or not, but my question is, so they go to this planet now, wherever they're going, and is she going to be okay? Obviously, he's not going to put her in danger, but I mean, it's such a weird scenario.
Apparently she's going to have to get used to their diet.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, there are things that will be discussed in their episode 2, which never happened. So we don't think about that.
Yeah.
Other than we think about that.
Yeah.
But if you take it as a 25-minute show, it's sweet, it's fun. There's a couple of twists. Him turning into the mouse is cool.
Yeah.
The fact that they're nice guys, not bad guys at the end. There was nothing bad or scary about this, and his magic was fun for everyone. Even the other kids loved watching him hit.
Yep.
And they knew that he was magic because they all said it right at the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. And his hit, they all, oh, Ben, you use your magic, blah, 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 blah. But they kind of want him to do it too, so it's kind of cutesy. Yeah. So I gave it a 7. I believe its IMDb score is a 7.4, so right in between you and me. And just kind of a fun, cute one, and we're in the middle of season 3. The next episode that I'll be doing, and I'm going to do it right now because there's nobody here. Sorry about that. But
by the way, no, this cave is totally awesome.
Yeah,
all of you watching, cool. Find a way to come to Flagstaff.
Yeah, and come to
Lava River Cave. This is amazing.
Really? Okay, here we are. Lava River Cave. I'm going to be doing one of my favorite episodes, Little Girl Lost. And if you go back and watch our last episode that we filmed in Vegas, Dane even quoted this episode.
All right. The keys fell into another dimension, we think.
Yes, like Little Girl Lost, yes.
Yes.
It's a really good one, and I love it for one humongous reason. At the end, we'll talk about that. But here we go. So, Steve, give yourself the intro narration.
Little Girl Lost. First... Oh, God, no.
That works?
Hold on.
No, okay.
Little Girl Lost.
I like the way you did it before. I'm just kidding.
Little Girl Lost. Little Girl Lost.
Aired on March 16th, 1962. Little Girl Lost was written by Richard Matheson, of course, and directed by Paul Stewart. And for the opening narration, whoosh, I'll do it myself this time. Missing one frightened little girl named Bettina Miller. Description: 6 years of age, average height and build, light brown hair, quite pretty. Last seen tucked into her bed by her mother a few hours ago. Last heard, hey, there's the rub, as Hamlet put. I read that really bad. It's written with like a quote, like I'm supposed to say it. Sorry. Hey, there's the rub, as Hamlet put it. For Bettina Miller can be heard quite clearly, despite rather curious fact that she can't be seen at all. Present location, let's say for the moment, in the Twilight Zone.
Okay, here we go. Start my clock. And here we go. The show starts off with a husband and wife in bed, and they hear the daughter, a little girl's voice, "Mommy, help." And so the wife goes, "Are you going to go get her?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm putting on my shoes." And he goes to her room, and he's like taking the sheets off the bed, like, "Come on, what's wrong with you?" "Oh, Mommy, Daddy, what's going on?" And he's like, "I can't see you. Are you under the bed? You fell off and rolled underneath the bed." He looks under the bed, and she's not there. While this is going on, their little dog that looks like Benji, this little scrappy terrier, is like barking like crazy outside. And the wife comes in and she's like, "Where's he?" He's like, "I don't know, but she's here. I can hear her, but I can't see her. She's not here." They're looking underneath the bed. They're walking the house. So they go open the door to let the dog in because he goes, "It's going to wake up the entire neighborhood." And the dog runs straight into the house, straight under the bed, and whomp, gone. So they're like, "What the hell happened?" This is my favorite part because Rod Serling's intro narration is part of the scene. While the husband is on the floor, the dad looking down, the feet that walk in is Rod Serling, and he does his intro. Really cool Rod Serling intro. Okay, so now they're frantic. They can hear her.
What he was doing in their bedroom late at night, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. They're in there, and they hear her talking, and they can't find her. So he goes and he calls his friend, what's his name?
Bill, wasn't it?
Bill. And he's like, "What are you calling Bill for?" And he goes, "I don't know. He's a physicist." So this guy comes over, and he's wearing his robe and his slippers, and it's the middle of the night, and he starts looking around, and he goes, "What? I don't understand." And he goes, "Wait a minute. We need to move the bed." I like this. He says, "We need to mark where the bed was." So they put these books down there to make where the bed was, and then they move it, and they're like trying to figure out if she's invisible, she's not there. And he goes, "I think I know what it is." And he puts his hand on the wall right behind where the bed was, and his arm goes through the wall. So they're like, "Oh my God, he's in a portal." They can hear the dog in there too, barking and stuff, and they're trying to figure it out. And he's like, "Listen, I don't know what it is." So he starts drawing a really cool design on the wall of where the portal is. And so he goes, "It's a portal to another dimension." And the wife is like, "What are you talking about? What other dimension?" And he goes, "I don't know, but I don't know any more than you do, but this is where we're at." So they're starting to figure it out. Puts his hand through there, and she wants to go through. And they're like, "No, don't go through there. We might not get you back." So the dog is over there, and they're like barking. The dog is barking. And they're like, "Get the dog to come to us. Get the dog to come back to us." So the dog starts coming back, and you can hear it pulling her, and you can hear them getting closer, but they're not there, and she can't find the portal. So the dad is down there on his hands and knees, leaning, and he's talking to her, and he falls through the portal. And he's in the portal, but he's on his hands and knees, right? So he's in there, and he's calling her, and then out of the fog, you see her coming through, and they're like, "Don't move. Whatever you do, don't move. Get her to come closer." So she comes closer and closer, and then finally he grabs her and the dog, and then his whole body gets pulled right back out of the portal, and he's like, "What happened?" And they were like, "We pulled you through. Half of you is in, half of you is out." And he was like, "I couldn't even feel you. I couldn't even feel you." So they come back in, and then as soon as they come through, the guy, the scientist, taps the wall, the portal is closed, end of the episode. Man, I smoked it to three freaking minutes.
And for our closing narration, the other half, where? The fourth dimension? The fifth? Perhaps. They never found the answer. Despite a battery of research, physicists equipped with every device known to man, electronic or otherwise, no result was ever achieved, except perhaps a little more respect for, and certainly about, the mechanisms of the Twilight Zone.
All right, so this has a 10 rating for me. I have always loved this episode. It's a lot of fun, but why do I like this episode so much? Because it's just poltergeist. It's just poltergeist. Poltergeist ripped this episode off.
Thank you. It's not just
so
poltergeist.
badly.
Poltergeist is it.
This
It
is
started.
poltergeist. This is 40 years, 30 years before Poltergeist came out, and they didn't even like hide the fact the dad went through, and in the movie the mom went through.
I
They
think the
pulled her
girl's
back.
voice crying was the exact same voice in Poltergeist.
Well, okay, so you know what's interesting is the director in this one, there's a couple of bit of cool trivia, only a little bit that I remember, but one of them is, wait, what's your rating?
I gave it a 7.
Okay.
I gave it a 7 because of the ripoff, but then I have to realize
They
it was
didn't
not a
rip it off.
ripoff of anything. Poltergeist just got a 7
Yeah.
from me. This show gets at least an 8 or an 8.5. It was great, very original. And what he does on the wall to determine where the door is
I'm going to put
awesome.
the picture of it up here because it's really cool design that he draws organically on the wall to sort of mark where the portal is. Very, very cool. But 2 bits of trivia. One is they said this is one of the first times and the only times that in Twilight Zone history they show the score director's name, the person that made the music, because the music in this episode is so important and palpable. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Before it even shows what's his name? It says the guy that did the score.
Yeah,
That's incredibly
that is
cool.
very cool.
The other thing that's interesting is the girl's name is Tina. If you look at her and you see her, she's only in it for a few seconds. She is the girl that ends up owning Talkie Tina in season 5. So
There
it's
you
the same
go.
actress. So anyway, I thought it was great. I really enjoyed this episode a lot.
I liked the twist at the end. When the physicist marks the wall, he makes 4 X's by using his hand to feel what is real wall, and then when it sticks through. So he gently pulls it back out, marks 4 X's, and then he intersects them with lines. So he creates this image of a round oblong door. But at the very end, when the guy gets yanked backwards out and he saves his family, the physicist says, I was telling you to hurry, and this is why. And the guy goes, well, why? He goes, and he touches the wall where the hand went through, and it's solid wall.
Like
and
it closed up.
This portal was closing up. Had I not yanked you out at that moment, half of you would have been here, and half of you would have been in the other dimension,
it's pretty
which
freaking
conjures
crazy.
up all sorts of images.
Yeah, pretty wild. All right, well, we're going to get out of this cave, and we're going to go chat a little bit more, but I like these 2 episodes a lot.
They were fun. A lot of fun.
All right, we'll see you out on the outside of this cave.
All right, now hold on. Hold on tight. You got a good grip. I mean, a good one. Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
All right, so we're out of the cave. We're out here in the woods, and it's awesome. There's these weird Blair Witch looking like towers of logs
Pillars of wood.
stocked up. But wanted to hype up our next episode that we're doing because once again we're going on location and we got really cool news. Our favorite sushi place in Surprise called Blue Sushi, and it's in the Prasada area. I think they have 2 locations, but anyway, we're in this area all the time. We live at this place for happy hour. We emailed them and asked them if we could come over, and they said yes. They have this really cool room, and it's got this like flowery wall, but they're gonna let us come over there and retell 2 Serve Man. The coolest thing is they've never seen this episode. They've never even seen the Twilight Zone. So they're gonna watch this episode, and we're gonna curate a meal that is fitting for 2 Serve Man. So they have really amazing drinks, and by the way, they have this spicy charred edamame. Oh my god, it's the best. But they've never seen it, but we're going to be putting food together in theory of 2 Serve Man.
Because it's food related and it is a restaurant.
Yep.
I'm excited to see how they respond to that whole.
Me too. I want to know, like, if you were 2 Serve Man, what would
Blue Sushi serve
yeah,
up?
what would they do?
Please, Mr. Chambers, eat. We wouldn't want you to lose weight.
But more importantly, what are you going to do to fatten him up when he's in space?
That's right.
Bonnie's going to be there because Bonnie retold this episode during Phoenix Fan Fusion and she nailed it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So Blue Sushi, thank you again. We will see you soon. Everyone make sure you're subscribing. Go look them up. They're great, but ready to do this?
Love this field trip. Have a
Absolutely.
great weekend, everybody, and we will see you soon at Blue Sushi.
In another dimension.
Always.
Bye, everybody.
Hey everybody, now I know that we already recorded the episode, but what we wanted to do is do a quick shout out to Robert Redford because we recorded this episode on Sunday and he passed away at the age of 89 on Tuesday. And as we all know, he got his career started off pretty much in the Twilight Zone. And doing the episode that we just reviewed, our most popular episode ever was with Sherry from Stand By Me. She kind of did the narration or the retelling of that because she's also a huge Redford fan, just like my mom. And everybody here, he's one of my favorite actors too. So 89, he did his thing and we just went through his list of movies and I've seen a solid 70% of those movies. I have not seen The Natural, which is weird because I'm a baseball
great show.
fan.
It's a very good show.
Yeah, what's some of your favorite ones?
My favorite one is 3 Days of the Condor, and I just saw it a couple of months ago.
Oh, really?
On a rerun, and once I saw it on the channel listing, then I just migrated to that show because I remembered how good it was. And when we got the news from him on Tuesday, I was at work and it was popped up on my screen. He's one of those actors that's so famous for so long, but he's in obscurity now. He does his own thing. He's just living his life, and you don't think about him. And so when the news came that he was dead, it's like it's sort of a shock and a surprise, but there was no buildup to it. So you just sort of felt sad that legacy and that 89 years is now gone from us.
He was relevant very recently. He's never not been relevant. He was in the Avengers movies. He played what's his name in Captain America: Winter Soldier, and also he was in Endgame. But he wasn't just an actor; he was a director and a writer. But he also, the thing that a lot of people don't bring up is that he started the Sundance Film Festival, so which is an incredible thing, and
which is where he lived until he passed away. He lived in Sundance; that's where his home was.
I didn't actually know that.
When I say that he sort of was out of the limelight, he didn't make a lot of waves in other areas outside of Hollywood and movies. He was in obscurity because he wanted to be. He was just a quiet, famous actor.
Yeah, and so handsome and so good. And Sarah's favorite movie of his is The Sting, and I just find him amazing. My favorite role is obviously Nothing in the Dark. It's one of the very first episodes as a kid that I saw that I was blown away by the twist ending, but also rewatching it just recently. What just a stellar talent from that time period. Just an amazing talent. And
one of the best looking guys.
Just, I mean, devastatingly good looking all the way up until like literally on Tuesday. I still think he's one of the best men you could look at in a room, regardless of age or whatever the hell he's wearing.
My wife's heart throbbed from when we were first dating until this week, and probably beyond this week. That was her favorite actor, was Robert Redford.
I think Sherry's too. Everyone was kind of swooning when we were doing that part, and it was just great. So anyway, we wanted to do a quick shout out and just say how much we're going to miss his presence in the world, but he made such an impact on the Twilight Zone.
Absolutely.
And I've been sharing the video all the time, but I want to read this just because it's such a poignant quote from the episode. And here it goes. So this is from obviously the big twist ending of Nothing in the Dark. And Harold says, "Mother, give me your hand." She puts her hand out. "You see? No shock, no engulfment, no tearing asunder. What you feared would come like an explosion is like a whisper. What you thought was the end was the beginning." I think that's a great quote for
in context of that episode. Those of you that haven't watched that one, go back now, because we've been talking about Redford. Watch that episode. That is such a poignant statement at the end of that episode, for the reason the whole episode is built around. It's just a great ending to a great story. Kudos to Rod Serling, and kudos to Robert Redford for that.
So we'll end this episode here. It was a great time in the cave. Anyway, thanks for sticking by, and Robert, we'll miss you. You made a massive impact on Hollywood and filmmaking and storytelling in general.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
What you feared would come like an explosion is like a whisper.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Where is this place and when is it? The answer is, it doesn't make any difference.
Can you say eggs?
Steve is.